Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Man, I just went to the restroom and I am looking rough today. I didn't have a relaxing weekend, so you can tell it. You can tell it. I'm looking tired. I'm looking beaten, whatever. But we got the show to do anyway. Two radio legends trying to do a podcast, just talking about anything and everything. You want to talk about stuff? We got stuff. If we find it interesting, you find it interesting. It's my little friend Riggins over there. I couldn't hear you. What?
Good morning. I still don't know how to talk into a microphone.
I know. It's only been a few years.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with stupid celebrity stuff. Riggins has brought us a very, very erotic image of one Miss Karen Johnson, a.k.a. Whoopi Goldberg, talking to Don Lemon and her sex life.
Yeah. She doesn't talk about her sex life very often.
Yeah, thank God. So she's calling it a hit and run, which basically is a booty call, right?
Yeah. She basically says, I'm in favor of hit and run relationships. Like, he comes over, but you can't stay the night.
Yeah.
And Don Lemon was stunned.
Right. Okay, here's what it sounded like.
Because I have a wonderful kid and, and a son-in-law and 3 grandkids and 1 great-grand, that I don't have time for a whole lot of other people coming into my life, because, that's my kid and that's the family and, so hit and runs are great. I don't mind those, but you can't spend the night.
Hit and run?
Mm-hmm.
They still happen?
Yeah, oh yeah. And you have to give yourself permission because, you have this whole line of words that are stacked up in your head about what you are if you say a hit and run is where you want to be and you don't want to be married. Am I a whore? Am I this? Am I a terrible person because I don't want to be? And I never really thought about it. I just thought, well, I must be doing it wrong.
Okay. Who is just calling up Whoopi and saying, let me come over and get that?
Still an attractive older lady, you don't think?
Riggins,
What?
you know she's not.
She's not grotesque. Whoopi, you think so?
If Whoopi were a man with the same celebrity status and got on a show and said, I only like hit it and quit it, booty call, whatever, women would be saying the same thing I'm saying right now and probably accusing him of having to get prostitutes because nobody would want to come and just lay up with him for a night and then leave unless he's paying them.
And he's a celebrity?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
There's ugly dudes that have pretty good luck in Hollywood.
Really? Would
Sure.
it be just some guy that Whoopi knows? Would it be another celebrity? I mean, would she, that's my point. Would she allow some guy that she met at some, I don't know, event that's not a celebrity, but he works for a celebrity or somebody? Who knows? She's not out meeting regular people all the time. So will anybody question whether or not she's using the services of escorts? Or is it because that in society we've determined that men, no matter who a woman is or what she's about, she can find some guy to do it with her. Now, he may not be worth a damn, or he may be, the scum of the earth or whatever, but sooner or later, if she goes out for the night and that's what she's looking for, she's going to find somebody that'll do it with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Whoopi's like kind of flexing, like it happens all the time. Now, first of all, do you believe that it happens all the time? That there are a lot of people who trying to constantly get the sex with Whoopi?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I think she's exaggerating that.
I think she's probably exaggerating it, but I think it's probably happened. I think it's probably happened because she's not. I think if you probably met her, she's probably very charming. She's probably easy to talk to.
I used to think that.
Yeah, she was married to Ted Danson. Ted Danson.
Were they married or they just were dating?
Oh, I thought they were married.
I don't know if they ever got married. I know that they did that whole blackface thing.
Yeah.
But people seem to forget about.
And he was good looking.
Yeah.
So, it's, I don't know. I think there's far uglier men and women in Hollywood than Whoopi.
Yeah.
And she gets accused of being a lesbian all the time. And she said, like, I'm not a lesbian.
No.
Never. I don't think she said she's ever even had a lesbian encounter, but people just assume that, I guess.
Oh, yes, you are, Whoopi. That's what they say. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah,
no matter what you say.
I don't know why that got started. But,
but I mean, wouldn't you have to be connected in some way or another to the showbiz world?
yeah, oh, absolutely.
To even have Whoopi's phone number to be able to call her and say, hey, I'm come over.
To even get close to her, you've got to be some sort of work in PR and, a talent agency. But I'm sure it happens. I just don't think it happens as often, like she says.
But having her sit on, on a set, just she and Don Lemon, the brain power there. Oh my God. You put the two of them together and the intelligence that whole room must be weighted down with, it's just insane.
I don't know who this show is for, this Don Lemon show. It's like, oh, now you're a news guy. Now you're interviewing celebrities. I don't know who is that show for. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but
I don't know. I mean,
maybe it helps with clips like this.
But he can pretty much do whatever he wants. I mean, a man that's that smart, is Don Lemon.
Donnie.
I mean, should somebody go in search of a person who's had the booty call with Whoopi lately? Since she claims there are so many of them?
I would like to know.
A real reporter would do that.
Absolutely. I want to know what Whoopi's into in the bedroom. Absolutely. Is she a freak? Does she, she into anything weird? I would be dying to know that. Any reporter that's worth their salt would go find out.
Yeah, and all of these, her daughter and granddaughters and great grandchildren and all of that stuff, and they're just thrilled to see Meemaw up there talking about how many hit it and quit it's that she has all the time.
Sure they love that. You never want to find out your grandma is still sexually active.
Well,
in any scenario.
I don't know. If she were married, happily married and all, I wouldn't mind it. Knowing that they're active, I think that was great. But if she's single and she's talking about just men coming over and knocking it out and then leave, and then she makes them leave, then that's a different type of thing you don't want to think of your grandmother doing.
They said Barbara Walters was kind of like that, even up into her old age. She was known to have some interesting flings. Mm-hmm. But you imagine, 80-something, however old she was, still getting around. Barbara Walters? Well,
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it.
I guess communists, they're humping till the day they die.
Barbara Walters is a communist?
Was, yeah.
She was?
Mm-hmm. If she wasn't, then she just didn't know exactly what a communist is. She was part of that, yeah. Part of that movement. But think about that all day. Who's coming over and getting it on with Whoopi?
I will.
You would?
I want to know, absolutely.
Well, start doing some investigating.
Yeah, I got to find out.
Okay, I've started something in my life that we need to share, and we don't have time in this break to really get into it. And I know I'm not the only person. I'm far from being the only person that's into this thing, but I just got into it. And maybe you'll be able to help me with some things as we go, because I think I may be the last one on board of this thing. So we'll get into it next. Hang on.
TJ's Podcast.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Back to TJ's podcast.
Make sure you tell all your friends to be listening to TJ's podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, ring the bell, do whatever you got to do. Who cares? As long as you do it. Where do you get podcasts? Is it Spotify? Is it Apple Podcasts? Is it Ace and TJ Family app? Whatever. Get it all. Do it. Do it. Please. Fill out the survey. acetj.com/Fanatico and become an official Fanatico in that elite group that you could win prizes and all kinds of stuff by being a part of. So we're building, man. You know what? Here we grow again. That's what I say. I made that up, by the way. Here we grow again. So my wife, Jody, and I started watching The Baby Reindeer.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. On the Netflix. And I really like it. She's liking it too. But the last episode we saw may have been the third or fourth episode, and it barely had the character Martha on it. And that was like, So it's clear that she's the most interesting person in the show. It's a show about a guy. It's a true story, and things have been changed a little bit. He says altered, was going to be to protect her identity. But then she came out and said that he's making her look bad, and now she's the center of attention from being on Piers Morgan's show and all of that. But anyway, he was a comedian. And he said he had this stalker woman. He felt sorry for her, so he was nice to her, but she was just really off in the head and became attached and became a full-fledged stalker of his, made his life miserable. But it also shows that part of him is sick and likes the attention, Now, I don't know if that's true in the story, or whether he just had to put that in there so it would be picked up by the likes of Netflix, so you don't just put all of the focus on there being a woman in the wrong. He has to share some of the responsibility. He has to draw moral equivalence between him and her, because you can't just single out the woman as being the problem. You think that had anything to do with it, Riggins?
Maybe, but she, in the way she frames her story now, even on Piers Morgan, it sounds like that was absolutely true. Okay. He may have led her on and asked her to sleep with him and things like that. I see what you're saying, though.
But I mean, she had a history of this type of behavior before she even met him and all. So it's crazy all the way around. Very interesting. It's a British, but they both sound Scottish to me, Scottish or Irish or something.
Yeah.
But there's not much difference when you're watching a movie. Have you seen it, Riggins?
No.
You seen any of it?
No.
It's she's really good. The actress that plays her is really good, and then the guy plays himself in the movie, the comedian guy. But stalker, I mean, that's a serious situation. Stalking, it ruins people's lives. They're just it's a mental condition to be a full stalker that you don't want to mess with. You don't want to mess with that. But you would be I
get it.
You would be flattered by it.
Part of it, yeah. Until it
like
starts,
he is, like he's torn. He's flattered by somebody that sits around, thinks he's so great, and because he's going through a hard time because his act is shite, and he's not getting anywhere as a comedian. And she comes along and she makes him feel good about himself and everything.
Of course. You would have to be not human to appreciate a lot of somebody who's like, oh my God, I just think you're the greatest thing ever. Blah, blah, blah. I would love that, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then when things start to get dark, that's when you got to figure out where to go from here. But yeah, there's a part of that that's like amazing. I love you so much. I'm willing to do all these crazy things.
I wonder if it's true that he really did fall in love with a trans therapist.
I didn't see that.
Now, in the show, he falls in love with a trans therapist. It's a guy thinking he's a woman who's also a therapist, a professional therapist. So I wonder if that really happened, or he wrote that in as a little change to fit the times more, of what people are talking about now.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you have to watch it with subtitles on?
No. I thought I was going to have to because of Jody.
Because she just can't grasp what they're...
Well, she had to watch the, whatever that reality show with the boxer, Tyson, what's his name?
Tyson Fury?
Yeah. She had to watch that with the subtitles because she couldn't understand what they were saying. But not all British things. I mean, she understood Ted Lasso. And this one so far is okay.
Yeah.
She's all right with it.
You never had like a stalker situation, not like full on stalker, but somebody who was like a little too obsessed with you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to talk about it?
No.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Well, I would, so let's talk. Why not?
Because she may still be out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be around you then.
I know, and that's why I'm telling you, because you wouldn't.
Huh.
But, I mean, once I married her, things turned out to be okay. No, I just had a couple of incidents where when I first got into radio, girls being in the parking lot when I got off from work, like they would hear when my shift was ending because it was live radio back then. And this one girl just, and I wouldn't say she was stalking, she was just trying very hard to have a relationship.
Yeah.
And then once I, told her that I couldn't, then she didn't keep on and on and on.
Why couldn't you?
Because she was ugly.
Oh, she was ugly.
Yeah.
Rarely is it ever a hot stalker.
No. And I was young. I was young, really young. So I probably would have, if she'd have been hot, I would have taken it as a compliment and all of that. But I didn't. Of course, I didn't tell her it was because she was ugly. I did the whole thing about I'm, getting back with my ex-girlfriend and
right.
all of that stuff.
Can there be a hot stalker?
Yeah.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't seem to add up though, because if you're hot, you've got a ton of options, and I always assume that the stalker doesn't have options.
No.
So they're trying to get the unobtainable.
No, that's most of the time, but it can happen where, because what the stalker is focused on is that one person. I don't want anything else. I just want that one person.
Right.
I don't want this. If somebody else comes along that is prettier, that may be interested in me or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm obsessed with what I have built in my mind that one person and I would have together in life.
Yeah.
So it's more of that obsessive control that turns them on rather than somebody who may look better or whatnot.
I think of that guy that Drew Barrymore was doing the onstage appearance a few months ago, and that guy walks in, he's like, Drew Barrymore, I need to talk to you. It's like, who's talking to Drew Barrymore? I mean, I don't know. These people are
He's
just
probably been doing it for years.
Yeah. Since she was like a little kid, an actress. He's probably been obsessed with her for decades.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. Like, she's going to be like, okay, hold on. Let me just stop this. This guy just barged in and said he needs to talk to me. What can I do for you? I mean, it's like, it's totally psychotic behavior.
Delusional, looking at it like, okay, we're in a relationship now.
Right.
Yeah, he was nice to me. He made a joke, a flirty type joke with me. That means we're together now. That's kind of what goes on in this show, in the reindeer show.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. It's like he laughed at what I said that was a sexual remark, so that means that he wants to do that with me.
Yeah.
And then after they get to that point where the person, the victim, so to speak, says, "What are you talking about? It was a joke. I never said that." "Yes, you did. You said we would do the sex and the whatever."
How terrifying it must be if you were a victim of stalking to then see your stalker, if all this is true, your stalker appear on like a widely watched international news program where she's basically saying like, "Oh no, that's not, none of that true." That must be terrifying.
Yeah. And somebody said that they were mad at Piers Morgan, like the viewers were mad at him.
Giving a platform to this person that, but that's obviously not, I mean, it's an interesting character. She was never charged, I don't believe.
She wasn't?
I
haven't gotten that far yet into the series.
That's crazy.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah.
It's weird in a good way.
Yeah.
Because I like those kinds of things.
Yeah, like Rob.
Like he's weird in a good way?
Yeah.
Tech D Rob is? I get it. All right, so we're going to do the Graham Slam and something very crazy. A club that men can join. And women may be encouraging them to do this. Who knows? We'll find out next.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
Riggins, do you know what this signal is in a part of our culture, what it means?
No.
In baseball, that means review the call. The umpire made a mistake. Go do the replay on the call.
Yeah.
Because they have to put on headphones to talk to the people, so that's the signal.
Yeah.
Stupid looking, actually. It's like, what are you doing? All right. The Tech D Rob found this story, and wow. You never know what's going on in this world, even when you think it's just gotten to be the craziest thing possible in a society. Something pops up the next day. Headline from World News in the New York Post: Castration Club's alleged ringleader who made testicle salad sentenced to 22 years in prison. The alleged ringleader of a British-based body modification club responsible for the castrations of nearly 60 men will spend at least the next 22 years behind bars. Over 6 years, UK officials allege Norwegian-born Marius Gustavsson, 46, earned close to $250,000 through his website, Eunuch Maker. The subscriber-only site featured footage of the actual castrations of group members. Now, Riggins, you like some gory kind of stuff on the internets. You know, like ear popping, things, ear draining after they're getting popped up and got cauliflower ears and things like that. Would you want to watch a castration?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Ugh. So he pleaded guilty to 5 counts of causing grievous bodily harm with intent, according to the BBC. Intent to what?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Meaning that he intended to do it, I guess. I don't know. And many members of the castration club had their healthy body parts, typically the genitals, removed surgically. Others damaged their own testicles to such a degree doctors had to amputate. And the group's faithful dubbed themselves nullos, as in genital nullification. In court, prosecutors alleged Gustafsson kept the lopped-off body parts for consumption later on. He once cooked up some testicles for lunch, laying them out as part of an artificially arranged salad platter. Artfully arranged salad platter. Also admitted to freezing a man's leg so severely it had to be medically removed. Gustafsson, who uses a wheelchair due to his own amputation, told the Irish Independent newspaper in February of 2022 that he willingly had his leg, penis, and part of his nipple removed by the group because he wanted to, quote, look like a Ken doll down there, end quote.
Okay. Why are 60 guys wanting to be castrated? Well, what is
it's just crazy.
Because they want to look like Ken? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, what's the motivation?
Sometimes that they say that when a man does that, then it clears him to have a lot of thought clarity and all, clears him to have clarity. That doesn't make any sense. It's badly worded. But when you cut off the bowels, then you're not thinking about sex ever. So your mind is clear to focus on important things and all of that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're Fortune 500, CEOs now.
Yeah.
I hope it was worth it.
Well, I don't know whether this is still a thing with the anti, abortion violence groups that are out there, but there used to be a thing where men who were in this, like the radical group of anti-abortion movements, that they would get castrated so they wouldn't be focused on sex or anything like that, to be distracted away from the mission at hand.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, one of the armies in Game of Thrones was called the Unsullied, and I think they were all castrated to be like warriors. That was their goal, to kill.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that really happens.
Can you imagine though if you're going out with someone and she says, "Well, what kind of things are you into?" And you say, "Well, I'm a member of a club that keeps me busy." "Oh, really? What kind of club?" "It's called the Castration Club." I found the group leader on a website called Eunuch Maker.
Yeah. Cut my nuts off. Do they cut is it the testicles and the
no, I think it's just a castration is just the bowels.
It's just the bowels.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
That would make more sense.
And a eunuch, meaning that you just have that. Let's see. Let me get the cast.
It's like when they castrate an animal, it's just the
removal or destruction of the testicles.
That's, I don't know. It's a far cry from the Key Club or the Anchor Club or the Junior Civitains.
Hell, even the, your charity biker club.
Sure.
You're doing toy drives and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of clubs, I heard something crazy this weekend. You know, my sister-in-law that's married to my oldest brother, she's got a lot of rich friends, and they're all in a book club. And this book club is so intense that if you miss a single book club meeting, you get kicked out.
For any reason.
For any reason. And there's 12 girls in the group, and you have to bring something to the table. This weekend, she drove up to Virginia from Georgia to attend a book club meeting. Now, normally, one of the girls has a private plane. So when they go to destinations, they all fly on Dad's plane. One of the women in the club has an inside track to Taylor Swift. So they've all gone backstage at a Taylor Swift Eras Tour show. And I said, well, what does my sister-in-law bring to the table? My mom goes, I don't know. I'm not really sure. So I'm assuming she's bringing something. But yeah, it's intense. You'll get kicked out for any reason.
What if you don't read the book one week?
Imagine
Do they kick you out?
kick your ass to the curb.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Why would they be going to Virginia to do book club?
Somebody had a house somewhere in the mountains, I guess.
Oh, so it's not a member of the club that lives in Virginia or something?
No. It's like a mountain retreat.
Because when my wife was in the book club, they used to do all the meetings in my basement when we lived in that big house. There would always be like a Tuesday night in my basement.
Yeah.
And then they started switching it around. Who's got book club this month and whatever.
I think I'd rather be part of the castration club than any
book
of these
club.
book clubs. It sounds awful. It sounds awful.
Well, because, women like being in groups better than men do. Men are more satisfied sometimes to just be by themselves and whatnot.
Yeah.
But women like being in gaggles.
And this kind of makes sense. You're cutting your nuts off. You're kind of becoming
a woman.
And you're part of a club. Connecting the dots.
How does anybody get to that place, though, is what I'm saying? How do you get there to the point where, there have to be signs leading up to cutting your testicles off on social media.
Yeah. I want to hear from one of those people. Like, hear about what exactly the end game was.
And why nobody tried to stop you and your family and say, hey, you need help. You need to get help.
Yeah.
And it didn't even say in the story that there were professionals who were doing it. Like medical professionals who were doing these procedures.
Doesn't sound like it.
You would think, because they wouldn't be able to get a legitimate doctor to do something like this, but that's not the case anymore. And like the medical field has gone down so much over the past few years, since COVID, since so many medical people were able to be bought off or whatever by, doing the wrong thing, whatever the government wanted them to do. So that's why in Canada now, people going in and just saying, I want the government to help me kill myself. And they'll do it, cutting off healthy body parts and doing all of that stuff. But I don't think this was part of, I think this was like some at-home stuff. And that's what the guy got in trouble for.
This sounds like the movie Saw.
Now, if you were even thinking about, say you were on the wrong road, Riggins, and you were just caught up in it and you were like, I'm going to be castrated. Mm-hmm. And who's going to do that for me? I like this guy that runs this Facebook group. He seems like he'd be good. Yeah. I'm gonna go to him. Then he shows up at the door, and he's in a wheelchair, missing one leg, and he's also cut off his own junk. Would that be the wake up call for you to go? You know what? This doesn't even really look like a place that's going to do that procedure in the most professional manner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would hope so. Get that moment of realization. Oh no. Oh, you're in a wheelchair too? How are you going to do it? I changed my mind.
Yeah. What if it's an outpatient procedure?
I don't know. Sounds like he was freezing them too before he did that surgery. So he must have
making smoothies out of them.
Why eat them then? What the hell is that about?
Again, they're all crazy. And the fact that, you have so many people in society, you can't judge them. You can't shame them All right, and then I'm not trying to judge them or shame them. I'm trying to help them. They need some help. Because you're going to have me just pretend like it's normal for somebody's, likes and dislikes to lead them into cutting off testicles and throwing them in the freezer and then eating them on salad later. I mean, get out of here. It's not normal. It's weird. It's freaky. It's insane. Let's get them the help they need. Stop taking up all of the real therapists' hours by, you breathing hard every time you get bad news. Get out of the office. Let testicle cutter and eater get in there because they need some help. Taking up all the good therapists' time.
Yeah, you don't get to take my spot because you like a nut salad. Today is National Crouton Day, so makes sense. What dressing? I mean, is that a ranch? Or is it like Cobb salad, like you have a hard-boiled egg and a Cobb salad?
I would assume ranch because it makes almost everything better. So if you got
Would it make a nut salad better?
What if you didn't let it thaw and then you bite down, break a tooth on a frozen testicle?
That's so gross.
I wouldn't even be able to tell my dentist what it was.
No.
He's such a fine, decent Christian man. There's no way. If I'm eating nuts,
frozen
men nuts,
Yeah.
there's no way I'd tell him what broke my tooth. I'd rather tell him I'm trying to eat rocks.
Yeah. He's like, man, your teeth, it looks like you ate a damn frozen nut sack. And you're like, yeah, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. That is insane.
But I wonder what the dues are for this club to be a member.
Got to charge something.
You know what's bad? I bet you if you looked up how many people are members of this club, the castration club, it probably dwarfs the number of members to TJ's Fanaticos.
Yeah. For now.
Till I start freezing testicles.
Yeah.
Then I'll get some move. I'll be an influencer then.
You got to eat balls to have any level of success in this field. I don't want to be a success then. Let it die. Yeah, because that's 60 guys that just had the procedure. Imagine how many people are just like interested in wanting to learn more. Probably in the thousands.
Where does he get sponsors for that though?
Yeah.
I didn't see any company wanting to get on board with that.
Like a T-ball team. He's got the local law office and Cheerwine. They don't want to touch this thing.
All right. Well, that's it for today. That's all I can take. I can't take no more.
That was a lot.
I can't take no damn more. So thanks for watching and listening. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.